telling you can't be selfish because I seen you at the All-Star game before and you wanted to score and not pass the ball.
This guy said, did she really say you can't be selfish when she takes 30 shots and misses 27 of them instead of passing to her teammate?
Angel Reese just delivered one of the most ironic moments at the Super Bowl, and it was hard not to laugh. She criticized another player for keeping the ball too much, but hearing that from Angel Reese was surprising. A player often criticized for taking difficult shots and missing opportunities was suddenly accusing someone else of not sharing the ball. The contradiction was impossible to ignore.
The NFL put this out last night. LSU legends Angel Reese, Jaden Daniels. Do not clump in Jaden with that bum. Angel only a legend in her own mind. A lot of people roasted the legend part. Legend and Angel Reese should never be in the same sentence. Reese wishes she was a legend like Caitlin Clark. Laugh out loud.
We've watched the same pattern over and over again. Missed layups, rebounds collected from her own missed shots, and celebrations of double-doubles that many critics say don't tell the full story. Meanwhile, her team often seems to perform more smoothly when she's not on the floor. Yet instead of focusing on improving her game, she continues chasing attention and putting herself in the center of the conversation.
Angel showed up with her business out. You can see the business is just everywhere. Chesticles bouncing all over the place. She's not any good at basketball, so she has to show some skin to stay relevant.
While her teammates were putting in work and sharpening their skills, Angel Reese was making headlines at the Super Bowl and trying to stay in the spotlight. But this time things didn't go as planned. The reaction was immediate, and even many of her supporters struggled to defend her, arguing that she appeared more focused on attention and publicity than on basketball.
Unrivaled had games yesterday. This is their season. They got games tomorrow. Angel Reese, of course, as you can expect, would be in the basketball court, deep in the lab, really putting in work. Except she wasn't.
Meanwhile, while Reese was drawing attention with her Super Bowl appearance, Caitlin Clark was focused on what she does best, putting in the work. Clark doesn't rely on flashy looks or viral headlines to stay in the spotlight because her performance speaks for itself. As Reese was generating buzz for controversial reasons, Clark was continuing to improve, motivating young players, and showing why many believe she's in a different category. She even skipped the Super Bowl so she could get a workout in and welcome new teammate DeWanna Bonner to Indiana.
Now, we know Caitlin Clark is down in New Orleans as well, taking care of business, bruh. She's doing her Gatorade thing. She got a Nike commercial about to drop. She's doing drills. She's not on the red carpet half naked. I'm telling you, bruh, Caitlin Clark definitely looked like she's taking care of everything she needed to get done to go back to Indiana and finish getting ready for the 2025 season.
And when it comes to influence, the numbers tell the story. Reese walked into the Super Bowl as if she were the center of attention, but Clark's jersey retirement ceremony alone attracted 1.1 million viewers without her playing a single minute. That's right, Clark didn't even need to step onto the court to draw a larger audience than Reese's games, which often struggle to reach 100,000 viewers even on their strongest days. Clark's presence continues to generate interest at a level few can match.
Caitlin Clark being in the building, 1.1 million average viewers.
Angel Reese failed to break 100,000 viewers. Now tell me again how everybody's tuning in for you.
Difference has become impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark is focused on achievement, while Angel Reese often seems focused on attention. Her Super Bowl moment highlighted exactly why many people believe she'll never reach Clark's level. She openly criticized another player for not sharing the ball despite frequently facing the same criticism herself. It was a comment that left many fans shaking their heads because the contradiction was hard to miss.
I see you miss layups just like they do and everything, but forget them. I mean, I miss layups too. So, I mean,
everybody miss layups, but they can't get mad if I get the rebound, box me out.
Yeah.
You're like 6'4". Is there a reason you cannot hit a damn layup?
Don't be mad because your fade didn't box her out. That's what I say.
Reese has built a reputation for taking difficult shots, passing up open teammates, and missing easy opportunities, yet she's still willing to criticize others. Many fans see that as a major contradiction. It raises a bigger question about what's really happening in the unrivaled league, the same league where Reese was expected to prove that her popularity alone could attract viewers.
Yes, it is unrivaled. It is also unwatched. Look, let's be honest, we can sugarcoat it all you want, but if you don't have Caitlin Clark playing women's basketball, or if you're not the NCAA tournament playing women's basketball, you got nothing. Zero zip, nothing. Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
Angel Reese may be part of the league, but plenty of viewers remain unconvinced by what they see on the court. Her performances are often criticized for missed layups, forced attempts, and statistics that don't always reflect efficient play. There are games where she takes several shots just to get one basket, while supporters still praise the numbers she puts up. Critics argue that many of those rebounds come from her own missed attempts, and some people tune in more for the mistakes than the highlights.
Is there anybody else in the WNBA or NBA that does this more than Reese? From tonight's game, third quarter, in 16 seconds, Reese took 4 shots, missed the first 3 shots, got an offensive rebound off her own 3 misses, and then finally made the 4th. But, quote, double-double, this looks just like Chicago Sky shit from last year.
And here's the harsh reality many people point to. Her team often appears to function better when she's not on the floor. That's the argument her critics continue to make. When she's on the bench, the offense seems more organized, the defense looks stronger, and the overall play appears smoother. If she were truly having the impact she believes she is, many argue that the team would struggle without her rather than look more effective.
Angel Reese fans are celebrating another double-double. And I do understand a double-double from her and a win, missing your shots.
Now compare that with Caitlin Clark. She doesn't have to force shots or chase statistics to make an impact because her performance speaks for itself. What's even more remarkable is that Clark didn't need to step onto the court to receive more attention than Reese. While Reese was making news because of her Super Bowl appearance, Clark was generating millions of views through her Nike commercial. She's setting records without playing a game, while Reese continues struggling to generate interest around her actual performances. Clark's name alone can drive huge audiences, while Reese often depends on controversy to stay in the conversation.
That's crazy. Just by her going to the game, it's the second most watched NCAA game. Like, that's crazy. That just shows how popular she is right now.
The one thing I would say about Caitlin Clark fans, they'll go anywhere she goes.
And the contrast is hard to miss. One player appears fully focused on basketball, while the other seems more focused on building a public profile. Clark spends her time working on her game and staying prepared, while Reese is often involved in media attention, discussions about WNBA salaries, and complaints whenever situations don't unfold the way she expected.
Whatever she thinks she is or she's moving the needle, no. People are reaching for their remote when her games come on and clicking to something else. They're tuning out.
Reese's Super Bowl appearance highlighted what many critics believe is the biggest issue with her approach. She makes bold statements, but when it comes time to prove them on the court, the conversation often shifts back to missed opportunities and explanations. While Reese was trying to grab attention, Clark remained focused on improving her game, inspiring fans, and reinforcing why so many people view her as the leading face of women's basketball.
What was crazy about this, the numbers were much better than NBA legend Kobe Bryant's jersey retirement ceremony on December 18, 2017. On Iowa versus USC, February 3rd, was also the second most watched game in NCAA history, just by her going to the game.
If Angel Reese were truly focused on improving as a player, many critics argue she'd spend more time working on her finishing skills instead of appearing at every major event. That's the criticism often directed her way. According to those critics, her focus seems less about becoming an elite basketball player and more about increasing her public profile and staying in the spotlight.
This is why Angel Reese's game is never going to get better, y'all. Her mom telling her this and her fans are the same exact way. Zero accountability, bro. Imagine this, y'all. You playing basketball in front of the whole world. People have been constantly criticizing your game and you messing up on the court. There's all this film and everything about what you need to do better and what you're messing up on. And your mom is just sitting here telling you, well, forget them. Just forget them, bro. Like, that's terrible advice.
As the unrivaled league continues trying to grow its audience, Reese has faced criticism for how she spends her time. Detractors point to things like podcast appearances, comments about player salaries, and frequent attendance at celebrity events. To them, her priorities appear obvious, and they believe too little attention is being placed on developing her game and improving her performance on the court.
We see why Angel Reese is the way that she is. Man, look at how her mom is just talking to her, telling her just forget them, bro. But then y'all are so mad that the world doesn't like her and talk so much shit about her, bro.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, everybody misses layups. I'm so tired of this everybody misses layups thing. Yes, a whole bunch of basketball players miss layups, but people are not missing layups like Angel Reese.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is often described as completely committed to basketball. Her supporters view her as someone who stays focused on training, preparation, and improvement rather than chasing attention. Even during Super Bowl week, the narrative around Clark centered on workouts, staying connected to the game, and carrying herself professionally. Many fans see that as the key difference between the two, one focused on building a lasting basketball legacy, while the other is seen as focusing more on visibility and social media attention.
Statistically the worst finisher in the league. So that means you're last and at the bottom. So that means you're the worst and nobody is missing like you are. God, this is not rocket science. Angel Reese GPA holders, bro. This is not rocket science, man. This is amazing. Y'all just cannot keep it real with this girl, bro. That's why she looks like an unrivaled.
And here's what makes the situation even more interesting. Some of Reese's own supporters are beginning to question things. They are starting to feel that there's too much talking and not enough results. She often speaks about being underpaid, but critics argue that she hasn't done enough on the court to justify those demands. At the same time, Clark continues setting a strong example for young athletes by staying focused on development and consistently working to improve her game.
Fair enough, like if Steph Curry showed up somewhere, there would be more posts about Caitlin Clark showing up there. There are levels to fame, and the level of fame Caitlin Clark is at might be up there with the highest levels there are.
Many critics believe Reese is more interested in fame than in reaching the highest level as a player. They point to moments where she complains about how she's perceived while also making public appearances that generate attention and criticism. To them, the issue goes beyond basketball and reflects a larger mindset. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues building her legacy, breaking records, helping grow the sport, and inspiring younger fans. If anyone doubts the gap between them, supporters often point to recent ESPN rankings. Clark remains near the top, strengthening her reputation as one of basketball's biggest stars. Her success extends beyond the court, with major viewership numbers and widespread media attention attached to her name.
We've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now. And Caitlin Clark is really high. One could argue she's not high enough. But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry. You're not to be seen.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese landed much lower on the same list. For a player who often speaks with confidence about her standing in the game, critics view that ranking as evidence that the hype has exceeded the production. They argue that popularity can only take a player so far before performance becomes the deciding factor. In their view, Reese's position reflects the results she has delivered so far. Some even believe she was ranked higher than her on-court performance currently deserves, arguing that attention and social media visibility have played a role in boosting her profile.
So, let's all get a laugh together here, because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see, correct me if I'm wrong, do you see Angel Reese on this list?
The response to those rankings was entertaining to watch. Reese's supporters quickly argued that the rankings didn't matter, but many observers pointed out that the reaction would likely be very different if she had been placed in the top 5. That's why critics see a clear double standard. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark doesn't seem to need validation from rankings because her performances continue to speak for themselves.
You know, a lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
Now look at Reese's WNBA team, the Chicago Sky. According to critics, the situation isn't encouraging. They point out that the team hasn't attracted any major headline-making free agents, which raises questions about the team's appeal. At the same time, the Indiana Fever have been adding talent at an impressive rate, building a roster packed with experienced players. One example is Natasha Howard, a champion known for her defense, scoring ability, and veteran leadership, who expressed excitement about joining the team.
It's going to be Caitlin Clark Flash Show. So it's going to be phenomenal playing with a point guard, like you said, that have a good vision. on the court, because that's like as soon as she get the ball in her hand, she throwing it up because she already see the person down the court before she even get the ball in her hand. So that's one thing I love about her vision on the court. I really can't wait to catch all those passes and give her all the assists that she needs.
Then there's Dawanna Borner, a 6'4" scorer with a long track record of success in the league. She remains one of the most respected veterans in women's basketball, and she recently found herself involved in online debates while defending the Fever against critics.
She's gone online for 2 times. One is to call out the crazy people attacking her right now because she joined the Fever.
Sophie Cunningham also brings plenty of energy, confidence, and competitive fire to the roster. She's known for playing with intensity and never backing away from big moments, making her another notable addition to the Fever lineup.
Why does everybody hate Caitlin Clark? And do you hate Caitlin Clark? Come on, talk to me.
Absolutely not. I think that she's a gem. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for women's basketball. And I'm a fan. Like, I would love to play with her one day, for real.
And don't overlook Sydney Colson. Even if she isn't playing heavy minutes every night, many believe she can have a major impact on team chemistry. Her personality, leadership, and positive attitude are expected to help create one of the most connected and energetic locker rooms the Fever have had in years.
Talked to Sydney Colson today about her signing with Indiana. She said that Kelsey Mitchell was actually the first person she hit up because they built a bond here, playing AU for the last 3 years. She said she heard some good things about Caitlin Clark from her Aces teammate Kate Martin as well, so that made the decision easy.
Do you notice the trend? Those players all decided to join Indiana and play alongside the core group of Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. While critics say Reese is focused on staying in the spotlight, the Indiana Fever have been focused on building a roster capable of competing at the highest level. From that perspective, the Fever aren't simply trying to keep up. They are positioning themselves to become one of the league's strongest teams.
You know that I'm very excited, and I really agree with a lot of the moves the Indiana Fever have made. There's not been one trade or pickup that the Indiana Fever have made that I have not been on board with. I'm on board with every single one. And I just want to say the fact that the Indiana Fever have gone out and got these great players like a Natasha Howard, like a Dawanna Borner, like a Sophie Cunningham, the fact that they've gone out and got these great players shows that they believe Caitlin Clark is great right now. They are on board with the Caitlin Clark vision, and it just makes me happy because they're not treating Caitlin Clark like a rookie who is gonna be good in 10 years. No, they're treating her like a superstar who is good right now.
For many critics, the Super Bowl weekend summed everything up. While Reese was drawing attention through social media and public appearances, Clark continued strengthening her reputation through her accomplishments and influence on the sport. In their view, the gap between the two players isn't shrinking but growing larger. They argue that Clark continues making headlines because of her success, while Reese remains tied to controversy, criticism, and constant debate. To them, the Super Bowl conversation ended up shining a brighter light on Reese than on Clark.
I cannot believe this is actually a clip that somebody put out to try to make her look good. This makes her look terrible. I'm shocked. That was pathetic. And then finally, she makes the layup. We're celebrating that? Really?
With Caitlin Clark leading the way, many fans believe the Indiana Fever are preparing for a major season. Teams around the league may have expected more time before Indiana became a serious contender, but supporters feel that timeline has accelerated. The season hasn't even begun, yet excitement around Clark and the Fever continues to build. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. Be sure to check out the next video, and we'll see you there.